Welcome to the Corinthian Yacht Club of Philadelphia, one of the few 100-year-old yacht clubs still in existence here in the Philadelphia area. I'm Drew Devitt, a member here at the Yacht Club. You can see the grand old clubhouse behind me, built in the 1700s. We've got a great waterfront facility too. We've also got a great racing program here in J22s and Vanguards and high school sailing and college sailing. All happens right here on our riverfront. We've got some great wind, a great day. Let's go out in the water and go racing. Off the back deck of the club, you can see we've got a nice swimming pool and playground. There's huge party tents, great view of the Commodore Barry Bridge, huge sycamore trees in our backyard. And when you look out over the river, you can see the high schoolers. That's Malvern Prep, Notre Dame, and Villanova out there. You can see our dock facility, some of the J22s getting ready to race. We'll be out on the water next. Here's the clubhouse from the water. You can see the Penn boats and the Drexel boats, and so what a great waterfront facility we have here. Here's the race course, lots of open water. J22ers getting ready for a race. And we have the Corinthian Yacht Club Race Committee here. Manned by the Commodore himself is on board. There's Fast Forward. Getting ready for their pre-start maneuvers. What a pretty picture that is. And that nice green gel coat. There's a pretty 22. That's Uplift. Here's Timeless. And here's Matt, our stalwart fleet captain, and his Vanguard. There's Jack and Laura Gregg, husband and wife team. I think they're 5 points in the championship lead. Hey, Matt.
Hey. Who's sailing your boat tonight?
John Stitzer, new member. Jeff and Zach Wilkerson, father and son team. The J22s are in their pre-start maneuvers. We've got less than a minute to go before the start now. Catch 22 is all the way over here. Looks like they may be thinking about port tacking the fleet.
You're an excellent commentator.
I don't know about that, but it is a lot of fun.
Commentating sailing's tough.
The balance of the fleet is going hard right. They're way over. The tide is flooding. That is one way to get out of the tide. But they're going to have to come across the river sooner or later. Starboard tack boats taking the extreme left side of the course. Though it looks like Catch 22 has tacked and is going to duck the entire line of starboard tackers. I'm not sure I understand that. Looks like the rest of them are continuing out. Uplift's holding them all out to the left. Uplift finally tacks. The rest of them tack in unison. So these boats look to be higher and slower. We've got Catch 22 down here, who is sailing faster but much lower. We'll see who makes it to the mark first. The three boats that went far right have all tacked over and are starting to cross the course. Catch 22's finding their way up the middle of the course. Got some boats converging in the middle of the course there. Across tacks. There's Uplift. They look to be in the lead right now. Got the Michaels and Zigzag still hard out on the left side of the course. Here we have the Windward Mark. See Zigzag and Fancy Pants approaching the mark. We have Uplift over here, and so it appears that Uplift has well overstood the mark and is going to give their lead away to Fancy Pants, who is making ready for their final tack to round the mark. It looks like they'll definitely be, no, maybe not. He is now reaching in with a lot of speed, having overstood. He is going to beat Fancy Pants to the Windward Mark. Good thing, because I think there's a child sailing Fancy Pants. Okay, they're getting ready to pop their chute. And here comes Fancy Pants. And yes, indeed. No, looks like West is at the helm, making the rounding. Looks like they're going to jibe at the Windward Mark. Oh, they're going to do a turn. They must have hit the mark on the turn. Oh, that looks slow. He's having a hard time. He's in irons. Okay, he's falling off here, catching some speed, but Uplift with the red, white, and blue spinnaker is on the way down the course. Here we've got Zigzag. They've also overstood the mark. Bearing off, getting ready to hoist. And here we've got a line of other boats that have also overstood the mark, reaching off. There must be something tricky about this mark tonight. There's Catch 22. They are only a few points behind the McMichaels, but they might not catch them. And fast forward, coming around the mark, Steve on the helm. And here we have second wind. I believe that is Wind Sealard on the helm there. And the boats head down towards the leeward mark. Second wind seems to be a little twisted here tonight on their downwind leg. Got Catch 22 jibing over. Pardon me, that's Zigzag. But Catch 22 is also jibed over. They are all following Uplift, who is in the lead, headed for the leeward mark. Okay, we've got the Vanguard fleet coming up, dodging in between the J-22s. We've got Jack and Laura Gregg. They look to be in second place right now. Dave Adams here looks like he's about to round the mark. There we go. He's round the mark. Nice jibe at the mark there. Looks like Jack is going to overstand the mark too. Having plenty in the bank, that's for sure. There we go, Jack and Laura Gregg going around the mark. Just bearing off. They did not jibe at the mark. Here we've got Dave Milner and his crew. They're at the Windward Mark turning, so three boats all within about 20 seconds of each other, rounding the Windward Mark. Here comes Matt Newborn. Looks like he'll be fourth into the mark, but he's coming in on port. And we do have a starboard tacker right here who will have rights. Matt, being the gentleman that he is, bears off and takes their stern. Tacks around behind them. Around the mark. Nice boat handling there. Two more Vanguards around the Windward Mark. Right, here is Jeff Wilkerson and Zach Wilkerson, father and son team, in their brand new boat. Tacking just before the mark. They were not quite on the ley line. They'll have to tack twice to make it around. There they go. So, are they going to jibe or bear off? Looks like they're going to jibe at the mark. No, just a strong bear off. Here we have Debbie Gibbons-Neff. Oh, no, that's not. That's Jeff McCarron. Jeff McCarron and his crew around the mark. On the top of the second upwind leg in the first race, we've got Uplift in the lead. John Spitzer on the helm. John Stitzer on the helm. Pardon me. I don't see any beer drinking going on there yet. The Uplift crew approaching their last windward mark rounding, getting ready to tack. See Brian Broker, crew on the bow, going in front of the boom. Uplift is tacked. Headed down to the mark. They're putting the pole up. I think we've got Dave Demby, a longtime Corinthian member, flying the chute there. We've got Catch 22 just short of the ley line, headed to the windward mark. Julie Webster on the helm. We've got Zigzag tacking over onto starboard. Here's Wes McMichael on Fancy Pants, about to reach the windward mark. Looks like Wes is driving around the marks anyhow. I think he has his 2-year-old son on board. Okay, got a little twist, but their chute's coming up. And here we've got Julie going around. She has made it. She's cleared the mark. Zigzag has not cleared the mark. They've had to tack very slowly, beating up against the tide. Okay, there they go. They've made it around the mark too. We've got Drew Convoy on the helm of Zigzag. Here's Fast Forward. They're coming into their windward mark, getting ready for the rounding. The Corinthian Yacht Club is over this way on the other side of the races, but we're neighbors with Boeing. And they build the V-22 Osprey helicopter here. It's hard for me to hold it steady, but you might get a view of some of those big helicopters over there. So here you can see some of the Chinook helicopters here on the pad. Some days they'll be flying right here on the pad, and we'll have the windward mark right here in the river, and we'll be sailing in their actual prop wash. A lot of fun. Here we've got Uplift about ready to cross the finish line. There we go. Committee boat probably gave them a sound that we didn't hear. Our rear Commodore Dave Adams just won that race on the 420s. Way to go, Dave. Commodore. And Uplift cleaning up. Fancy Pants has just made it across the line, dousing their chute. Looks like Jack and Laura Gregg took second in the Vanguard in this race. And we've got the children driving on board Fancy Pants. Okay, here we've got a finish coming. This looks like Catch 22 taking third place in the J22s. And looks like the fourth place J22 is coming down here, but we've got a Vanguard making it across the line just barely. All right. And another Vanguard. Zigzag's made it across the line down by the committee boat. Looks like Dave Milner got fourth in the Vanguard. We have Angus. He's our Mark Boat race committee specialist. Here we have the Uplift crew waiting for the second race. They won the first race. What do you have to say? What managed to get you around the mark so quick, Mr. Stitzer? All right. Okay, looks like we're getting ready to, make ready for starting another race. Okay, we've got the start of the second race. J22 class flag flying. Okay, here's the race committee boat. Preparatory flag up. We've now got 4 minutes to the start of this race. You can see the windward mark is straight out here, so it looks like starboard tack is favored right now at the start. Got our race crew out here. And you can see the pin and the start line. Fancy Pants. Wait till you get a load of McMichael shorts. You'll know why his boat's called Fancy Pants. Second wind. I think Amber, John, and Win at the helm. Fancy Pants looking like she's favoring the race committee boat side here for the start. The preparatory flag has come down. That postponement flag, I think, is just stuck. Nobody's paying any attention to it. So we've got less than a minute to the start. Catch 22 and Julie. Fancy Pants coming up. Here's fast forward. Looks like they might get taken up above the committee boat by Uplift. Uplift might have the same problem though, because Fancy Pants is defending the committee boat here. Uplift has now gone below Fancy Pants. Okay, we've got Zigzag leading the pack out the line. All right, just a few seconds left before the start. There it is. There's the start. Really, nobody has crossed the line yet. But it does look like Julie's got more speed than Uplift. Fancy Pants and Zigzag have made the best starts. We've still got Timeless and Second Wind below the start line. Here's Fast Forward. Crossing the line. And the fleet's off. Everybody's staying on starboard tack, headed towards the left side of the course. Okay, it looks like the last boats across the start line have tacked off. Oh, another one tacking back to starboard, but we've got one boat on port tack. That looks to be the favored tack. He's almost on the ley line the way the tide is going to be taking him out further into the river. And everybody's going strong left. It's headed towards shallow water out there and more tide. Okay, we're coming up on the final minute before the start of the Vanguard class. We're all pre-start maneuvers. We're about a minute 30 to the start. You can see the line there for the pin. Race committee boat. And quite a few Vanguards out there jockeying for position. Okay, 1 minute left before the start. Jeff Wilkerson's out here. Looks like he's planning something. He's going to try to come storming in from the committee boat side. We've got other Other vanguards coming back this way. Little jibe there. Somebody's going to spin around. Everybody's tacking. They're coming back towards the line now. Tacking over. Everybody's getting on starboard tack here. There's a battle for the pin end going on. Okay, one blast left. You can see right down the starting line now. Wow, great start there on the far end of the line. And all the vanguards are across, most of them are across the line and all within 10 or 15 seconds of each other. Everybody's still on starboard tack. A few minutes after the start. Looks like a tight race. So the Wilkersons have tacked over to port. They are the only vanguard to have tacked to port, but it does appear that port is a solidly favored tack right now. As we look up the fleet towards the J-22s, this is the first boat to tack over to port, and it looks like they're going to make it to the mark first. All these vanguards are carrying starboard tack hard over to the left side of the course, just like the J-22s did. Okay, the J-22s have rounded their windward mark. Here's Uplift. They rounded in second place. This looks like Catch-22 here. I think they were first around the windward mark. Some boats still trying to get around the windward mark. The Vanguard fleet has tacked mostly from being on starboard. They are almost all now on port tack, headed up the river into the flood tide. Uplift has just jibed over. Uplift is the only boat that is jibed over. Catch-22 is carrying their port jibe out towards the right side of the course. Uplift is broadside to the current, taking them down towards the finish line. I think they've made the advantage choice as far as the current is concerned. Got Fancy Pants. Oh no, this is Catch-22 here. So it is Zigzag that was around the mark first and looks to be still leading this last and final race of the Corinthian Spring and 2 Summer Series. Okay, right now it looks like Uplift is jibing again. Okay, they're getting their chute full, but Zigzag looks like they've got quite a lead. I'm not sure why Uplift jibed right there. It might be that they mean to cover the boats behind them. Fancy Pants and Catch-22, which are definitely gaining. Uplift seems to be on the slowest jibe right now. All the boats have jibed over to a starboard jibe except for Uplift. Okay, looks like they're getting religion and are jibing back. The rest of the fleet hot on their heels. Looks like Zigzag is going to have to jibe over. They will be on starboard jibe. And the Vanguard fleet is having a great time. They are on their way down the last fluid leg of the season.
You got a beautiful sunset going on. Just a great place to be in the Philadelphia area. Okay, looks like Zigzag is carrying into the finish with speed. Looks like they have won the last race of the season. Uplift close behind. And Catch 22, Fancy Plants close behind. Okay, these 4 boats have finished. They are on the last race to the bar of the season. Our race committee, always a popular spot. Hey, the Commodore. They run some great races for us. Okay, now we've got the Vanguards headed down towards the finish. They're gonna finish in front of some of the J22s. Looks like it's going to be a close finish here. I think that's Dave Adams again in the lead. He might get 2 bullets tonight. That is tough to do. I think he needs 5 in order to take the championship from Jack and Laura Gregg tonight. I think he got 1 point in the first race. Let's see where we find Jack and Laura in this race. No, the announcer was incorrect. It was Jack and Laura Gregg that won that last race and clinched their championship of the Vanguard for the season. We got Matt, our fleet captain. And the sun is setting on another wonderful Corinthian sailing season. And we have Fancy Pants.
They think we're winning.
You can see those Fancy Pants. An early moon. And back at the docks, we've got the Vanguard fleet pulling their boats up and cleaning up their sails, getting ready to go in for a lovely dinner. J22 fleet rolling up their sails. And we did not have a strong turnout tonight. I think for some reason we were missing 3 or 4 boats. We normally get 9 to 12 boats on the line. I think tonight we had 7. And you can see the clubhouse. And our party tents and our trap shooting range and lots of riverfront.
So you guys
Jays are cleaning up, putting away their sails. You can see some of the large container traffic that we have on the river. A couple of tugs waiting to take this ship the rest of the way up the river. The channel's about 40 feet now. They're going to deepen it. And we're able to set a course entirely on this side of the channel, so we never actually have to cross the shipping channel with our courses.